Welcome back, Commanders family, to Command Center Postgame Live, presented by United Airlines. Proud to fly the Washington Commanders. Fellas, 45-15 loss here at home. Before we start talking about the game, Brian Robinson Jr. went down with an apparent hamstring injury. We do not have any updates, but just wanted to mention that. Hope he causes a speedy recovery. Yeah. We know we have the bye week. How does Brian Robinson Jr.'s absence affect our run game, B-Mitch?
Well, it affected tremendously. I think you can see he came out here ready to go. I think he had like 7 carries, over 50 yards. He seemed to be ready to go. A couple times you think he's tackled, he still breaks out of it. Brian is just that type of guy,
yes.
Since he's been through what he went through last year. You can see his way. He likes to approach the game. Just sorry to see him go down. Would have loved to see him finish the whole game.
Yeah, and I think Brian Robinson has been kind of maybe the most valuable player on the offense. He's been fantastic running the football, catching the football out of the backfield. He's a guy that can win one-on-one matchups, which is something we weren't expecting from him. So obviously anytime a player of that caliber and that is so comprehensively involved in the offense has an injury, it's want to get it back as quick as possible. So like you said, good thing it's coming off the bye, and we've got other good runners that did a nice job today in his stead. Chris Rodriguez, I thought, showed some of that tremendous tough running ability. Gibson did a great job today catching the football. And that's what's nice about having some good depth. But obviously, we wish Brian gets back quickly.
Yeah,
so
definitely wishing to get back quickly. Now, Commanders family, we are awaiting head coach Ron Rivera's presser. We will take that immediately. But until then, let's talk about this game. First things first, our big headline, B-Mitch, for pregame was Ron Rivera taking over the defensive play calling. How do you think he fared today in his first time back at the helm?
Well, I think, listen, it's kind of hard to judge someone that hadn't done it in 5 years.
Yeah, sure.
It looked very familiar to me to what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
But you can see that they kind of limited some things to make it a little more simpler. But ultimately, what Miami did was, like, Tyreek is faster than everybody on the field.
100%.
We're going to run him down the field and throw it up, and he'll go get it. I think the one they threw to Waddle, if there was Tyreek, he would have caught that one too. You just got to understand, when he's on the football field, the one thing you got to have in your mind, don't let him get deeper than you.
Yeah.
Because once he's deeper, he pulls it in.
Yeah, and it's funny, I was talking to B about this earlier, and one of the things is they did some things better than they've been doing. They played more confident. I thought the linebackers were much more decisive to the football. Thought some of the young safeties did an excellent job in run fits, handling all the jet sweep kind of misdirection motion. But ultimately, we can talk about some of the things they did well, but it comes back to they gave up 2 explosive plays. Yeah. That's 14 points in this game. Count that with the interception. That's 21 points, right, that they basically gifted the Miami Dolphins. And what I couldn't agree with what B-Mitch said more. He's the best receiver in football for a reason. He's the most explosive athlete on the field at all times. You can't treat him like a normal player. You have to kind of adjust and accommodate that skill set in a different way than anybody else. So I think while there were some good things, some things that you say, wow, good to see this guy do this. Nice tackle here. Good run fit here. Great job by Casey Tuhill on the crack toss, which has been killing us all season. Good. Those 2 bad are very bad. And then the third long conversion to Waddle, also very challenging. Bringing pressure. I love that Ron brought more pressure in this game. The pressures just didn't get home at the rate that they were hoping for, right? Yeah. One of the explosive plays, they're bringing a simulated pressure to the offensive left. And the offensive left, they get it picked up, and that's what allows the completion down the field. You can see the DBs are playing for the pressure.
Yes.
They're trying to get ready, saying, if this blitz gets home, we don't have to get any deeper than this. Doesn't get home. That's why working the rush and the coverage is so important. They're not quite there yet, and it leads to some explosive opportunities for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. And you mentioned some of those positives, Logan, so we'll try to stick on that, right? We have the unfortunate pleasure of having to try to talk about positives to this game. 6 tackles for loss. You talk about the pressure, no sacks, 6 tackles for losses. 3 of those came in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Are those some of those positives you're mentioning, seeing from the defense, those kind of small bright spots?
Well, I think the thing is, how many times they were able to get this team to third down is something that we haven't seen from them, right? It's been big chunk, 1st and 10, big chunk, 1st and 10. Oh, it's 2nd and 5, 1st and 10. So the fact they were able to kind of manufacture third downs, I thought was great. I thought KJ Henry showed up a couple times in this game, so great to see a young, talented football player making the plays. Percy Butler did some excellent stuff in terms of fit and runs, which I really liked. Obviously, there's that second completion to Tyreek Hill where you're like, what is his responsibility? Should he be cutting that crosser? Should he be back deep? Who knows? That's only something Ron can answer. But I think there were some things. Cody Barton, I thought, did a great job with how they isolate those hook players. He did some stuff in this game that you haven't seen anybody else in the NFL do in terms of matching some of that RPO stuff. So there's good stuff, but
and the ultimate thing is, they did some good things, especially against the run.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks about Tyreek Hill, which he deserves the credit and deserves all the praise he gets. But I look at this running game of this team, and I think this team is unbelievable with Miami. And Washington did a better job at the run today. But the ultimate thing is, I can remember coaches saying it only takes 4 to 5 plays in the game. They're going to win or lose it for you. And look at it. He called 3 of them out.
Yeah.
Okay. The 2 big touchdowns to Tyreek. He also get the other the interception
for a touchdown
that Sam throws. Got to look. See, one thing about it, these are some quick hitting plays, but you must see where you're throwing it.
That's a great point.
Right then and there, when he goes to throw the ball, he has already thrown it, and the guy is showing up.
Yeah.
You have to see before you throw the football. But then ultimately, there are a lot of other plays where Tyreek Hill, when he got hurt a little bit, nobody was out on the swing route with him. How does anyone not cover Tyreek Hill? You know, it's just some things where I think they were overthinking stuff still.
Yeah.
Where they got it. Listen, this is week. This is the 12th game of the season. No, 13th game of the season.
Yes.
I don't know what was going on, but we got to figure out a way to get this stuff implemented and installed quicker to where guys could just play football instead of thinking about everything.
And I think that's a great point. And B-Mitch said this at the top. It's the same defense as before.
Yes.
It's just different things have been emphasized. Yeah. Some of the same issues are still there. And that can't all get corrected in a week. So hopefully coming into this bye week, they can do a lot of self-scout, say, hey, we did take those good things, build on those things. Take those negatives and say, how do we eliminate this? How do we make this easier for our guys? And I think Ron seems dedicated to that. We got to talk to him this week a couple times. Seems motivated to get that done. Hopefully the extra time allows him to get that done. So.
And we talked a lot all week about eliminating those big plays. We saw some big plays today. In your eyes, as players, you guys saw these plays develop. Is that something? How do we fix those things and not give up away a plays to possibly the best receiver in the NFL?
It's a combination of things where the tackle's got to get home, the ends got to get home. If a linebacker is doing something, they need to get home. But ultimately, if you're in a certain coverage and your job is to make sure the guy doesn't get deeper than you, he can't. Because I would say this: if we tried him one-on-one, man-to-man at any time of the day, mistake.
Yeah.
Nobody can run with him. You have to have some type of cloud coverage, somebody over the top to make sure once he get past the guy, you have somebody watching for him. Because the first touchdown, he was so far ahead, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
The second one, he's looking here and completely turns and readjusts.
It was a nice adjustment.
It was a nice adjustment for him. But Tua puts the ball up where he needs to go. A lot of times it looks like they drop back, and Tua's just dropping back and saying, go deep and I'm going to throw it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more that goes into it. Their coach, he knows how to draw up some stuff. And as we go forward, after the bye, we go see Sean McVay, another guy that's offensive mind. And then all of a sudden, Kyle Shanahan rolls in, another guy with offensive mind. Ron's play calling is going to be tested because we got a lot of these upper echelon play callers coming to us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. And I don't know. I just look at some of those opportunities and the rush, man, in some of those explosive plays, specifically the second one. If you're calling a pressure, it's a good pressure. They get it picked up, and you can tell the whole defense is built around that rush getting home. And when you look at the games that they lost this year, I'm talking about Miami now, the Buffalo Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, that they would run that pressure and they would get home and create a pressure or a sack and eliminate that downfield opportunity. So I just think that's something that needs to get corrected at some point. And you trade away some of those depth pieces. Guys are hurt.
We actually have Coach Ron Rivera right at the press, and we'll finish your thought after Ron's done.
Ron, after you made the changes on defense last week and came out in the first half like that, just what are your thoughts on that and what happened and what changes didn't work?
Well, probably the biggest disappointment more than anything else, we gave up 2 explosives that we technically should have not. We should have been in a better position than we were, and we didn't do that.
You've talked a lot about growth with this team the last several weeks. Is it hard to say that after a game like today?
It is, John. To be frank about it, yes. When you spot 21 points to a very good football team, you're gonna struggle to win a game, and you can't do the things that we did and expect to win.
You mentioned the explosive, the first one with Tyreek. What did you see on that play?
Well, we should have been tighter. His release, we didn't squeeze him on the release. We didn't push into him. And then we just got to make sure we got somebody up over the top.
With regards to Sam, what did you think today? And with Jacoby coming in, was that just a matter of?
That was just a matter. The game was pretty much salted away, and just let Jacoby get out there and finish it up for us.
Now you guys are entering the bye week. What was kind of the message in that locker room to the guys?
Well, we got a quarter of the season left to go. We're bringing them in next week, and we'll work through the next few days and just make sure you got to understand we got a quarter of a season left to play and expect everybody to show up and play.
Obviously, facing adversity right now, coaching staff, players. What's the makeup right now? Like, what's everybody feeling?
Well, disappointed. I mean, you lose a game, and unfortunately, we really didn't give ourselves a chance. We made too many mistakes, and we've got to make sure we can limit those.
Any update on Brian Robinson?
Just the hamstring tightened up, and we just thought obviously to be smart about it. We didn't want to go out and pull it, so we sat him down.
Ron, it seems like the offensive, at least from a production standpoint, has kind of ground to a halt these last couple of weeks. You played good defenses, but what's going on your end that has caused that?
Well, we've missed a couple opportunities. I mean, we got to be better up front, in certain areas. We've done some good things. We do enough to move the ball, and then you get a little bit behind, and then how your opponent attacks you becomes different.
Ron, at the beginning of the season, there was a thought that from a talent standpoint, there had been some improvements, whether through the draft or free agency. And I wonder what you think about that now. Do you think that they're still there, or is there more work to be done than maybe we all thought?
I think there's a little bit of work left to be done, but I do think we have some talent in some spots. I think some guys are most certainly gifted enough to help us win football games. And I think there's opportunities, but we've missed those opportunities. We didn't make plays when we had opportunities to. And there were some, that were pretty good examples today of just missed opportunities. You can't do that. You just can't do that in this league, especially against really good teams. You've got to be able to handle those situations, circumstances, and when it does come to you, you got to make sure you make those plays when they're around to be made. And then again, from the coaching aspect, we just got to make sure we're putting them in the best position to have success.
And we know that Dallas and Miami are good teams, but are you surprised at how big the gap seems to be these last 2 weeks?
I'm disappointed that it looks that way. I really am.
There's still 4 games left. I know these guys are professionals, but do you worry about kind of losing them for the remainder?
I don't worry about that. So I really don't, Nikki. I mean, they're professionals. They have a job to do. They've got 4 games left to play, and and I told them in there I expect them to come out and do their best.
Terry had 3 targets, no catches. Why was that, and what do you make of that?
Well, that you'll have to look at the tape and go through what the play call is and see exactly what Sam's reads were and what was happening.
And what made Tua especially so difficult today? Like, what was he doing?
Well, probably the hardest part for us more than anything else was, again, we've got to get a little bit more consistent pressure on the quarterback. It's crazy, but there were 2 major plays that were made that kind of throws things a little bit out of whack. You give it those kind of explosives, it's tough to rebound from it.
Coach, I know you kind of broke down one of the plays already, but generally speaking, what was kind of the overall strategy to contain Tyreek Hill, and where do you think that kind of faltered?
Well, what we tried to do is make sure we had people over the top more so than anything else. And, we've just got to be able to make sure we're where we need to be.
Going into a little bit of a bye week, how do you think you guys can prepare and rest and then come back and do what you need to do for next game?
Well, that's the biggest thing, is really give our guys an opportunity to take a little bit of a break, get away from it, get a little bit of a rest, and then come back and refocus. I mean, we have 4 games left to play, quarter of the season. As I said earlier, it's about the professionals that these young men are, that they've got to rely on that, fall back on that, and show up and do their jobs.
Do you expect to make any additional changes to the defense, either personnel tweaks or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to evaluate and look at it. I mean, what we'll do is we'll get ready and we'll game plan each week, and obviously look to do some things. And the biggest thing more than anything else is just keep trying to put them in position to be successful.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll have Howell from podium, lock those over.
That was your head coach, Ron Rivera. We are still awaiting quarterback Sam Howell's presser. The minute he gets to the podium, we will take him. Until then, we are going to go to break, and we will talk more about this offense and this defense after the break.
Have fun, sis.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
Go by quickly? Football goes by quickly. So cherish every rush pass and rush pass turn pick six with instant withdrawals on FanDuel if you win. Because holiday football won't last forever, and soon it'll just be March.
Bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Oh, game's on. We need more chips. More dip, too.
More?
Yes, more. Oh, that reminds me. We can still score that $400 bonus from Northwest if we hurry. It's with your first ever checking account.
$400? That's the kind of more I like.
Then let's do it. But first, more chips.
To earn bonus, open first ever checking account and deposit at least $500 in ACH or direct deposits per month within the first 90 days. Limited time offers subject to change without notice. Details at nwfcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Are you on your way?
Yep, coming.
And Mom and Dad?
Don't worry, they'll be there.
Happy anniversary!
Go beyond the expected with the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
One bag.
The winter play was really coming together. Until disaster struck. Tensions were high. Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harvey could picture the perfect night. We're delivering more happy for the holidays.
Dad, we're gonna be late.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
Welcome, Commanders family, to Command Center Postgame Live presented by United Airlines. You are looking at the podium. We are awaiting quarterback Sam Howell. As soon as he is there, we will take his pressure and let you hear from your quarterback. And speaking of the quarterback, it's time for the Fast Play of the Game presented by the Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today, but please play responsibly. And this play is no other than Sam Howell's deep right pass to Curtis Samuel. He was pushed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. We thought it was a touchdown. It got really loud in here. He was pushed out of bounds, but it did set up a Sam Howell touchdown. Fellas, talk about this play a little bit and just the play of Curtis Samuel.
It was a good pass. You know, he was able to get the ball to Curtis quick enough where he can defend himself. You know, sometimes those plays could be collisions. And you come back to the huddle and say, yo, man, get that ball to me a little quicker. Yeah. But Sam put it in there. Curtis cleared the defensive back. He had it right there for him. Tried to get in, but that foot came down out of bounds.
Yeah, and I think I just like this isn't always the case, but I really enjoyed the creativity there by Eric Bieniemy, right? He's lined up in the backfield. You have the receiver in a tight split. He's running towards the post safety. Everything collapses with him. It looks like he's running that choice, that option route where he's breaking in on an in cut, does a little stutter, then takes it to the vertical. And great job by Sam buying a little bit of time, getting the ball out there, completing that pass. And, you love the explosiveness that Curtis past couple of weeks has brought to this offense. I mean, it's just really nice to see him get involved in a multitude of ways. And I love the play design, love the execution. It's just so nice when something like that just clicks for you.
When it comes together.
Yeah,
when a plan comes together, right?
It's nice when it comes together. It's nice when your other receivers can step up because you heard Ron get asked about Terry, and Terry getting 3 targets but 0 catches.
Yeah.
Y'all are players. Y'all been here before. Y'all know sometimes that's the lay of the land. Yeah. What is going through Terry's mind right now as a leader and as a playmaker?
Well, I'm sure Terry felt he feel like he could have done more to help his team out, and that's the way he's always feel. But no one, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, yeah, Ramsey came in and shut him down. No, sometimes when you are the best player, they're going to have things designed to take you out of the game, which means everybody else has to step up. That's why Samuel got a lot more passes today. Jahan Dawson now gets them. But Terry, I don't think Terry will shut down. I just think sometimes, though, Tyreek Hill, everybody in this stadium and all of us knew that they were going to throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
And they found a way to get it to him. Maybe we got to just find a way to design some things, because in one thing, he was sitting behind Tua.
Yeah.
And he goes out to the left, and I'm like, what the hell is nobody going with it? We got to find ways to design plays to get your best players open.
And I think, like B-Mitch is saying, I think Miami deserves a ton of credit, not only for taking Terry away, but if you look at a lot of the third down, a lot of second and long situations in this game, the pattern matching that they did in the back end was excellent.
Yeah.
Their ability to kind of identify the concept that we were running, make sure it was covered up. There was not a lot of error in the coverage, and that was throughout the game. That was 4 quarters of that. And I think, if you go back and watch the film, and we still got to do that, obviously, you'll notice that Sam is he's elevating, he's extending the play, he's looking for opportunities to push the ball down the field that aren't there in the rhythm and timing of the play itself. So that's something that they deserve a lot of credit for, and that's, I think, a huge reason. And then the way that coverage marries with their rush and the way they're able to get home with 4 a couple times in this game, they deserve a lot of credit. And that's why we don't see Terry with a bigger stat line, right? We don't see him get those opportunities.
Yeah. And then, Logan, you mentioned it, right? Sam extending those plays. To start the season, we were saying, dang, he has to get rid of that ball. He has to find a way to get out of that pocket because he's getting hit too much. Still got sacked 3 times, but not as much as we've seen. We've seen Sam kind of get out the pocket today. How good was that to see, and how important is that for him in his development, especially with such a young line?
I mean, I think the thing that sticks out to me, B, is that because there's nothing there, he's got to be special. Yeah. And it would be nice if you look at some of the stuff that Miami's doing out there that was really, really elite. The way they game plan, the way they move people around, the way they find that open grass, the way they attack coverages, the way they attack rules of the defense to find those easier opportunities. It'd be nice if Sam had some of those opportunities, I think. But what I will say is that Sam has done a great job. He's done a great job elevating in certain situations, being a competitive guy every single week, no matter how many times you hit him, no matter how much pressure he's under. He's done a great job. So I love that about him. I love that, seeing that.
I love it, but I need him to live to play another day.
Yeah, live. I
don't want him to take too many hits. Quarterbacks are not built for it, man.
He seems like he's built for it.
He does. You built for it until you're not.
Yeah, but I think the point is I love the competitive nature that he attacks the game with. The scramble for the touchdown, all those off-schedule throws, really nice job by him. Just wish there was a little bit more of the offense in rhythm and timing today.
And Sam, definitely an ultimate competitor. If you're just now joining us, we are waiting to take Sam at the podium. Until then, we are going to take a quick break. We will talk more about Sam. We'll talk more about this offense and our future matchups. Stick with us.
You're going to like this story because it's about you. You who forgot to charge your phone last night. You who sprints to the boarding line so your bag will fit. You with him. Until one day you boarded a United plane that was designed for, well, you. And your phone got charged, your bag fit, so did everyone else's, but this story isn't about them. Your toddler didn't tantrum, and you got to fly happily ever after. The end.
Hey, it's me, food. I'm so much more than just what we eat. I'm hand-cut, fresh and frosted. I love it. Aw, I love you too. See, life is always something new. All messy, frantic, and amazing. And from where I sit, you look delicious. That's why every day is worth celebrating. If you can. Stay fresh. Sincerely, food. Sincerely, Safeway.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Are you watching this?
Is that curling? No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Holiday scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery.
Must have left them in the car.
They're sure to make spirits bright.
Oh,
Game's on. We need more chips. More dip, too.
More?
Yes, more. Oh, that reminds me. We can still score that $400 bonus from Northwest if we hurry. It's with your first ever checking account.
$400? That's the kind of more I like.
Then let's do it. But first, more chips.
To earn bonus, open first ever checking account and deposit at least $500 in ACH or direct deposits per month within the first 90 days. Limited time offers subject to change without notice. Details at nwfcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Toyota-thon is on. Now's the time to get an exciting new Toyota. Like Camry Hybrid, RAV4, Tundra, and more.
How did you...
Magic.
Buy a rugged Tacoma with special financing as low as 3.99%. Or go with the Tundra and take up to $1,000 Toyota finance cash.
Come in today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to Command Center Postgame Live presented by United Airlines. Proud to fly the Washington Commanders. You are looking at the podium right now. That is because we are awaiting quarterback Sam Howell at his presser. We will take that immediately and hear from your starting quarterback. Until then, it is time for Toast of the Town, B. Mitch, presented by what?
La Semaine du Roi.
Champagne and Branson and Cognac. I'm going to miss doing this with you, B. Mitch. The official champagne and cognac of the Washington Commanders. And our Toast of the Town is no other than the guy we talked about a little earlier, Curtis Samuel. Led the team with 4 catches for 65 yards. His second game in a row where he led the team in such numbers. Now, fellas, don't really have too much positive to talk about when this game like this, right?
Sure.
But we still have more season to get to.
Yeah.
You guys have been players before, and approaching a bye week after tough losses like this, how important is this bye week and how timely is it, B. Mitch?
Well, it's important to get it because now you can reassess the things that you've been dealing with, and also some guys get healthy. We got 4 games to go, and Ron was saying it earlier about those guys being professionals.
Yes, sir.
Listen, you can sit up there and act like, oh, the season's over, I'm not going to give it. You're going to show that on the film, and the people will be saying, well, go on and go home a little early than you're supposed to be. But the whole thing is guys need to finish this season strong, whether for the team, for individual things. And next year, let's be real, this football team will not be exactly like it is.
No.
Guys are going to be moving on to other places. You want to make sure somebody's going to want to give you an opportunity.
Yes.
Even you want to make sure that this team may want to bring you back. So you got to go show the best of the best. You can't go out there and just waddle through it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is when they earn their paycheck, obviously, right? When Ron earns his paycheck, like this is when the adversity is its highest, going into the bye, can you find a way to quiet the storm a little bit? Find something offensively to give you a little bit of an edge. Can you find something defensively to get those kind of coverage looks we're talking about earlier? So all those things are super important. But, yeah, I totally agree with B. Mitch. You're a professional football player. This is why you get paid for it. When you don't want to play, you got to play, and you got to play well because I want to play football. You know, like you want to play football next week, or next year, you got to put good stuff on film. That's the expectation. No one else cares that you're not doing well or that the team's not doing well. You got to play good football.
Totally.
So,
well, Logan, you look like you're ready to play football right now.
I don't know about
let
that.
me tell you. So, Logan, I'm going to stick with you, man. So, you've been a veteran in those locker rooms, right? This is an extremely young team.
Yep.
Very, very young team. They haven't been here before. What are those veterans? What are those messages the veterans are giving to these young guys?
I mean, hopefully it depends on the leadership in the locker room. It depends on who's kind of the voice. And I think, like you said, it's young. There are guys like John Allen. He tends to be kind of a quiet leader, you know, not super outspoken. But it's nice to have, I think, a guy like Jacoby Brissett, a guy who's been on some bad teams, been on some good teams, understands what's at stake here, can kind of get that message conveyed to the young locker room. I think is extremely important. And that's why a veteran signing like him at the backup quarterback spot was so important, because it gives you an opportunity to kind of say, hey, I've been here. I was on Cleveland when they were really bad. I was with the Patriots. They were really good. Like these are some things we can do kind of in this time to refocus and help you focus, help you be a pro, help you understand kind of the gravity of the situation. So I think that's extremely important.
Also, it's a time where, you know, some guys that you may not look at as the leader.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think we get caught up a lot of times in saying the quarterback's a leader or the oldest person on the team is the leader. There are some younger guys on the team who experience things in college. You know, they've been through things that figured it out. They've probably experienced some stuff since they've been here in the pros. And they may have a word to say. And I think some guys like that sometimes have to emerge. You know, because you can't always wait for the guy who you think it is. Sometimes it's somebody else. I mean, I remember Mike Sellers was here. Rock Cartwright. Those guys were kick returners and special teams players, but they were the leaders of this football team.
Yes.
And somebody else is going to have to step up and make sure people understand that, you know what, no matter where it's at, you got to always put your best foot forward.
100%. Totally agree
100%.
with that.
I completely agree with you. And we are still awaiting quarterback Sam Howell's presser. He is not ready yet, so we are going to take our last break of the show, come back, talk more football until Sam is ready to go. This is Command Center Post Game Live. I'm Brygo Jr. here. We'll see you back after this break.
Hey, grab me one too.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Is that curling? No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Everyone deserves a crown. The hottest new addition to the Toyota lineup. With distinct styling, the newest Toyota tech, and exhilarating performance of an all-wheel drive hybrid. With available turbocharged power. And like all Toyotas, Crown comes with a no-cost maintenance plan. Toyota, let's go places.
Are you on your way?
Yep, coming.
And Mom and Dad?
Don't worry, they'll be there.
Happy anniversary!
Go beyond the expected with the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
One bag.
The winter play was really coming together. Until disaster struck. Tensions were high. Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harvey could picture the perfect night. We're delivering more happy for the holidays.
Other than just maybe playing better defense.
Yeah, I mean it's been a tough couple of weeks. We got to do things better offensively, and it starts with me. I got to play better football, and we just got to continue and try to get better. Obviously, we're getting towards the end here of the season, but we still got a lot to play for, and we're gonna keep giving it everything we got. But no, it starts with me. I got to play better, and got to kind of try to continue to get everybody involved, and get into more of a rhythm early in games, and not let us dig ourselves into a hole. But we just got to be better.
And again, these teams are obviously very good, but did you think your offense would be at a different point by this time of the year, regardless of who you were facing?
I mean, I think we've shown, some really good things throughout the season. We've put together some really good performances, but the consistency just hasn't been there. And we just got to find a way to, be better and execute at a higher level and at a more consistent rate. But we definitely have the pieces, definitely have the coaches, definitely have the game plan each and every week. It's just a matter of going out there and doing the things we need to do to get the results.
Sam, you've been able to make a number of plays off schedule the last few weeks, but in terms of just the on schedule type of stuff, where is that not coming together, from protection to your decision making to receivers? What's fallen short there these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint, what exactly it is. I think it's just a combination of a lot of things, and it's kind of just something different every single time. But we just got to really look at ourselves and, really watch the tape and see what we can do to get better and try to fix the issues.
And Sam, can you talk about the interception?
Yeah, just had a quick wide receiver screen, pretty much just trying to catch the ball and get it out as quick as possible. Just kind of unfortunate thing to happen. Guy made a good play. When I'm just catching and throwing so quick, it's kind of hard to see him. Usually, the DN's not in that type of position to make a play on the ball. But yeah, just an unfortunate thing to happen.
And then the scramble for a touchdown. Can you kind of talk about like just kind of like what's going through your mind during that whole process? And is there ever a moment where you're like, I need to get down, or are you just kind of selling out for the end zone the entire time?
Yeah, I mean, it was 4th down, so once what I was looking at wasn't really there, just tried to make a play and obviously extend the drive. And then once I saw kind of what was in front of me, I knew I could score. So I just went ahead and tried to do it.
Terry, 3 targets, no catches. Kind of what happened today, and I guess what went into that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not what we wanted to do coming into the game. Not only Terry, but I feel like we struggled to get all of our guys involved in the game today, and we just gotta be better. Terry's the best player on our offense, and we gotta find ways to get him the football. I gotta find ways to get him the football. Obviously he had a few targets, but 3 targets isn't enough for your best player. So we just gotta try to find more ways to get him involved.
Do you talk to him after a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a moment yet after this game, but I mean, he knows what I think of him as a player, and that I'm trying to do my job and trying to get him the football. So it's definitely just something that's frustrating, and it's never the plan or intent to not get him involved. So it's just something we got to try to get better at.
Looked like after the interception, Eric came over and was talking to you on the sideline. What was that conversation about?
Yeah, just talking about staying positive and get ready to go again on the next drive.
You've got the bye week. What kinds of things do you want to refocus on here coming into the last 4?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to try to do a good job of playing my best football these last 4 weeks and taking it one day at a time. And I feel like if I play at my best, then I'll give our team a chance to win. So I'll obviously evaluate myself over the next few days and try to find some things to really focus on these last few weeks, and try to play some really good football.
I know obviously winning's the goal for everybody, but with the playoffs kind of out of the picture in the last 4, what kinds of things do you guys want to do to prove something to yourselves going in in these last 4?
Yeah, I mean, I think the honest thing is I think we know that we're a way better team than what we've shown, especially the last few weeks. We know that with the guys we have on this team, we're definitely capable of winning more games than we've won. And so for us, we want to show who we can really be these last 4 games. And we're going to take it one game at a time and try to give it all we got.
Sam, do you see defenses are tailoring their defense to take away Terry? Are you seeing that they're just focusing on him, so you got to go somewhere else, or is it just the way the plays are working out?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think Miami they played a lot of cover 2 to his side today, which obviously kind of makes it tougher for a guy to get the football. But at the end of the day, it's not an excuse for him not to have a catch. She has one.
Oh, sorry, I got one. Just you say the players are there, the coaches are there, the game plan is there, but what are you seeing that convinces you that is the case?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've shown it at times throughout the year, and I think there's a lot of proven players in that locker room, a lot of proven coaches, and at times we've played some really good football this year. We just haven't done it at a consistent level to where it translates to having a good record and winning most of your games.
All right, thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
Commanders, baby, that was your quarterback, Sam Howell. And speaking of Sam Howell, it is time for today's Never Ordinary Play presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And this play is Sam Howell's second touchdown run for 13 yards. Now, Howell has become this was his first ever career 2-touchdown run game.
Ever since Kirk Cousins. Wow.
Ever since Kirk Cousins.
Now, he's now tied with Brian Robinson.
Wow. Now,
see, I pay attention to all the stuff.
You do pay attention. Yes. Now we talked about Sam Howell a little bit and him running, right? Now, of course, you guys look at the final score. It is 45-15. But Beamish, when you talked about Sam Howell and being able to run on the field, what has it been like seeing him kind of run a little more and show that athleticism more than he did in the first?
Well, I like that. I like the fact that he can run. And I think if everything was in place as it should be when you have the best people blocking for him where he doesn't have to run for his life most times, if he could use that ability, instead of throwing a bad pass and run the ball to extend drives and extend plays, you see what he can do to help you out. He's athletic. He's tough. I don't want him to don't prove to us how tough you are. Because I've seen linebackers hit quarterbacks, and normally the quarterback loses.
Yeah.
So, but I love the fact that he can escape, get himself out of certain bad situation and extend plays that can help him out along the way.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think it's such a weapon now, and it's in terms of defining the quarterback position, you need to have the ability to move around and extend plays and do stuff off schedule. 60% of offense in the NFL now is done off schedule, so let's get him. That's an essential skill set, right? You look at guys like Mac Jones who can't do that, and how hampered and how stunted that offense can be. He has the ability, with his ability to run, to elevate the offense in bad situations. So love to see it. Great to see him score a touchdown. That touchdown shows his athleticism, kind of sneaky athletic, which is always fun to see. And again, we talked about his competitiveness. Love the competitiveness. Love that he's going in there. He's trying to score a touchdown. He's navigating bodies. It's the physicality is awesome to see from a quarterback. I know B. Mitch doesn't like it, but I like it.
I don't mind it. I'm just saying.
He just wants to protect it. That's all.
I don't want you to go out there and take too many chances.
I got you.
Trying to be the guy to run over a linebacker.
Live to fight another day.
There you go. It doesn't work.
Hey, you talk about sneaky athletic. You know who's not sneaky athletic? Our Pisano's Pizza delivery
that's
person.
A really nice transition.
You like that, right? That's what
really
I get paid for, Logan. Well, you know what? It is time for our post-game delivery presented by Pisano's. Now, since your Commander scored 2 touchdowns, B. Mitch, that means that you get 2 free toppings when you visit your local Pisano's tomorrow. Is that what you're doing? You going to go visit your local Pisano?
Get 2 toppings.
Yeah,
what are the toppings, B. Mitch?
Yeah, what are your toppings?
I'm just a regular meat guy. Give me some piece. Give me pepperoni, some ground beef. I'm good with that.
Yeah, that sounds yummy.
You know?
I don't know what's there, but you know, I just want to put my hands there just to keep
I'm going to just try to suit it how it feels to be Santana. Just go order 4 pieces.
Tanner would take the whole box. Now, fellas, we're wrapping up the show here. We have a bye week coming up. Commanders fans, don't worry. We will give you content and everything like that you need during the bye week. So keep touching our YouTube and our social channels. But until then, let's get the final thoughts on this game right here, B. Mitch.
Well, right now, I think every player going home, look in the mirror. You know, Michael Jackson said, "I'm starting with the man in the mirror." And I think everybody needs to do that. You know, go look in the mirror and then be truthful with yourself about, have you prepared properly? Have you played as good as you can play? Or what you need to do to change it up? And start doing things starting off tomorrow to make sure when you get back on the field practicing with your team and get to the next game that you're ready to go. Because this is 4 games. This is interview for a lot of guys.
Absolutely.
This is another part of you putting onto your resume. Guys are going to be tested, and people are going to see what you're made of. Because when you're in situations like this, where you were now sitting at 4-9, okay, and you're not playing, you haven't been playing well, haven't been faring well, they're going to see how you react in this situation. And I think everyone wants to put a positive thing out there.
Yeah, 1,000%. And obviously, this isn't the outcome that anybody wants. Nobody on the field wants it. None of the coaches wants it. We don't want it. But you know to B. Mitch's point, what can you do personally and from a coaching standpoint to get this right? Like, to win some games down the stretch here. And I know some fans don't want that, but like B. Mitch said, like, this is everyone's resume. This is coach's resume. This is player's resume, and it needs to get better, and I think it will. And I think there were some things to build off of today. It's just about making sure that those disastrous plays don't occur. The offense finds its rhythm. You build on some of those young pieces that flashed today, and again, try to find something positive going the last couple games of the season.
And fellas, it'll be very interesting to see this final stretch. Now, we won't be here for Week 14, but Week 15 we'll be back on the road in L.A.
There you go.
The post-game and pre-game show will hit the road and be out in L.A. to take on the Rams for Week 15 after a much-appreciated bye week. That is it for us, fellas. I appreciate your time. Appreciate y'all being out here in the cold. Y'all don't look as cold as I look.
It's not cold.
Yeah, you got a big jacket on, man.
I have on wool socks, Logan.
I
am freezing. I am so cold right now. I can't even.
From Texas. Texas boy, right?
Hey, I lived in Texas. I'm a Cali boy at heart, though. Right. But listen, we will see you guys out in Cali for Week 15. This is in Command Center Postgame Live presented by United Airlines. Proud to fly the Washington Commanders. I might need it. See y'all later.